Hello, it's Dan the Plumber, and today I'm going to show you guys how to install a garbage disposal. Stop calling the plumbers, stop spending your money, you can do it yourself. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you step by step just how to do it. Today I'm going to be installing a Contractor 333, and this is made by Incinerator. Incinerator is the best in garbage disposals. Do not buy anything else, that's my recommendation. I've got a 3/4 horsepower. It's a pretty good one. Half inch is okay. I usually go with, half horsepower is okay. I usually like to go with the 3/4 horsepower. Just a bigger motor, more powerful, and it's got a better warranty on it too, I think. This is a 3-year warranty. They last for a long time, much longer than that, in my experience. So here are the tools that I used. Screwdriver, plumber's putty, the 3/8 clamp connectors, and that was just for the electrical. You're going to need the pigtail, that guy right there. Find that at any hardware store. The tool that comes with the garbage disposal key, and I use wire strippers right here, but if you don't have those for the pigtail, you can use the knife, a utility blade of some sort, just to strip back the pigtail and get to the wires. Alright, so here we go. We got our garbage disposal and this setup that it comes with. You can take this off and that'll be used later. And so this little confusing device is really not that confusing. I'm going to loosen these screws right here, just a little bit. On all of them. And let's do that equally. So then there's a second ring I'm trying to get down to, and that's right here, this ring. And that ring simply just pops off, maybe not so simple, like that. Alright, so you got that part, this part, this and this. With this part, it's going to go here. I'm going to put it on the smaller side of my sink. That's just where I like it. And I'm going to clean that area right here with the rag. And this is plumber's putty. You need this to go around this flange here. And this is going to make it watertight. So the way that's done is you roll it up like this and you put it around there. Like so. And you take this and you drop it in. Make sure the lettering is straight when you're in line with the sink here, so it looks like a real professional installed it. Go ahead and put some weight on that thing right there. And you see the plumber's putty seeping out, that's a good thing. Alright, so that part is done. Now, we've still got all of these things. And so, what I like to do next is this. Screw these screws down, and you'll see why in a second. I'm going to go pretty far down on here. This just helps getting everything in from underneath the sink. And the way it's going to go in is this goes on the top, next is this, and then this goes here and it locks into place, and finally the metal clip. I'll show you how that's done right now. So this is what it looks like underneath. You'll see a little plumber's putty in that bottom of the flange. First, take your slip washer. This is just a cardboard thing so it doesn't slip around. This is a smooth surface. This will prevent it from sliding. Next, this guy. And notice how I'm putting it in. With this little groove facing you underneath the sink there. Then is this guy right here. And the screw side, the heads go towards you again. And so that's why I lowered the screws down so far, just so it's easier to put in when you finally put the metal clip in right here. And this is the most tricky part of the whole installation. It's not very hard, it just takes a little practice. So the way this works is there's a split in this ring here. You can see it right there. And that just, you put it around there with your fingers and you hold it in place. You take your screwdriver and you pull it over and it'll click in place like that. Not like that. It may take a few times. Right there. Then you want to hand tighten equally all these screws. Once they're pretty hand tight, finish the job by tightening equally with the screwdriver. It's important to go back up here and check before you get too far that this didn't move. It moved here. It's not straight. So what I'll do is I'll go back under, I'll loosen those screws and turn it so it's straight in place. Okay, now that the screws from underneath, the 3 screws are tightened and I checked this is perfectly straight, we can go to the next step. The next step is the electrical part. So you want to flip your garbage disposal upside down, and on the top here there's one Phillips screw that you can loosen and remove that part. So we'll look down underneath here and we'll see that there's a black and a white wire. There's the white, there's the black, and this little green screw is important. This is the ground. So what we'll do is these are not included with the garbage disposal, so you do need to buy these with it. This is a 3/8 clamp connector. I've got a bag of them. I think you can buy them just individually. Take that part and see how it works. Is this. Simply screws right on the top. Kind of locks in place. That is for your pigtail. This is a used pigtail. You can buy a new one. They look about the same. This is just a little shorter. It's been cut and used already, but it's okay to use your old pigtail from your old garbage disposal if you are replacing one. So I'll open these screws up just a little to give me a little room. In this direction, slide the pigtail. In just far enough so you can wire these things. Okay, now that we've got the pigtail through, what I'll do just to show you guys, and it's good to do anyway, is cut the old stuff off. And if you are getting a new one, you'll have to do this anyway. And I'll show you the proper way to strip the wire down. You'll find if you have wire strippers, you can find the appropriate size, and you just grip it and slide it off just like that. Pretty easy. And you want it about that far down. Same thing goes for the other two sides. Okay, so the green, you can just barely see the green in there right now, but the green goes with the green screw, like this. I like to wrap it around a little bit, just like that, and screw it down. And you can see it's kind of held in place nicely with those two grooves right there and there. And it's caught in there. It doesn't have to be super tight. So the next part is to find which one of these goes with the black and which one goes with the white. You've got two wires. It's important here. And so if you look at this wire right here, these two wires, you'll see that there's ribs on this one, which are just little lines. And this one has no lines, and you can always remember that the white wire goes with the ribbed lines, the ones with the lines in it. So you will need two wire nuts. Get those things on there like that. Take your wire nut, put it in place. That side's done. Same with the black. You don't want any of these little fine threads to be sticking out. You want them all in the wire nut. Because the reason you don't want any of those sticking out is it could short something out. If it hits another one of those, if the black and the white hit, it'll short the whole thing out. So now you got that all in there. Stuff it neatly back in there. Close the lid. Screw back down. And tighten this part. And you want to make sure it's flat, sits real nicely right there. You can kind of hold it in place. You want it snug, but don't over tighten it. You're done. The electrical part is finished. Alright, so the next step is to determine whether or not you have a dishwasher. If you look here, this is a remodel, and there is going to be a dishwasher. There isn't right now, but there is going to be a dishwasher. That's important because there is what's called a knockout plug in here. And this is just the part that adapts for your dishwasher hose. So, since I have the dishwasher, only do this if you have a dishwasher, and I'm going to knock that knockout plug out. And the way that's done is simply put it on the ground, take a screwdriver or a chisel or anything sharp, you stick it down there, knock it out. Boom. You can see down there, it goes through now. Then you want to make sure you pull that knockout plug out from under here. There it is. Just a plastic plug. And throw that away. So later on, you can put your dishwasher, your black dishwasher hose over this with the hose clamp and connect it to the dishwasher, and that's where the dishwasher actually drains to. Okay, we're almost done with this garbage disposal installation. Our next step is take this bag that they give, and in the bag are these parts here. very simply, you take the metal ring, you put it over this plastic part, you take the rubber gasket and you put it in here evenly. You take this here and you put it in. However, sometimes you may need to cut this plastic part here to, depending on where your trap is underneath the sink. I do not have a trap underneath the sink yet. As I said, this is a new, if you look under the sink here, I've got no drains yet in there. I will show you on the next video though how to do all the two-part ways, the trap, the whole connection, how to do it. But in this video here, I'm just going to show you how to install the garbage disposal. So once again, you may have to cut this a little bit to fit depending on where your trap is, and sometimes you may have to use another adapter to make this a little bit longer. I'll go into all that in another video, but today, right now, I'm going to show you just how to install the garbage disposal. Alright, so back to this. We're going to screw these things evenly, tighten them down, keeping this thing perfectly straight. And you'll feel these screws lock tight in a certain spot. Don't go any tighter, that's it. They've bottomed out, you can't go any further. So once that's in, you take your whole unit. And this part can be a little tricky here. But you'll take it with one hand and you'll put it inside that piece right there. Sometimes you can use your knee because these things get heavy like this just for a balance right there. And what you want to do is you want to lock these in. Let me get a light in here. You want to lock these rings. There's 1, 2, 3, and you want to get it into this part right here. The 3 of those things. And there's one in the back there. And then you want to keep this part, this is the drain part, down towards the back of the sink where the drain will eventually go. And don't worry too much about that, those are adjustable. So here we go. We'll put it in, we'll get it up in there, and we'll spin with your fingers once they're all in, just like that. Now, you can see that they're all locked in place, but I haven't tightened it yet. In the package for the garbage disposal, they include this key, which is actually a multi-purpose key. But for now, what we'll do is we'll tighten it down as far as we can, right there. That's where it should go when it clicks in place, and these things actually are hitting this other metal right here. There on all of them. So that's perfect. And then you can always move this thing at this point still without affecting this lock right here. So that's great. Your garbage disposal's in. All you have to do is plug it in. As you can see, the electrician hasn't come yet. I can't plug it in. I know it works. It'll be just fine. So in my next video, I'm going to show you guys how to connect all the drain work in there. You can probably find that below, a link for that. That's it, it's a wrap.